Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. You are watching The German in New Mexico. Now, you are joining me on the Mother Road, America's Main Street, Route 66, or as it is known here in Grants, Santa Fe Avenue. I am on the way to a spot called Quartz Hill Trailhead for the promised and long-awaited adventure vehicle walkaround. I thought doing the walkaround in a more scenic spot would be nicer than just in my driveway or somewhere around town. So I was on the way out there and I noticed that my windows were quite dirty and streaky. You can see a bird poop. I kept on trucking because I had an idea how to at least attempt to clean my windows on the road. So halfway into the canyon, I stopped, poured some water down the windshield and wiped it off with a blanket I carry in my truck. Didn't do much good though, still pretty dirty and streaky. Also the inside of the glass is pretty streaky. So I turned around, drove back through Grants and to the local Walmart to buy some supplies. If you have watched my other videos, you know that I love some popcorn. And I was getting low, so I bought some kernels, salt, butter flavor spray, and yeast, and also grabbed some Windex for my windows. Back home to prep to grab all my cleaning items. So first thing I did was I grabbed my bucket, I put some spüli in my bucket, put the bucket in my shower, put some hot water in that bucket, mixed around the soap a little bit in my bucket. Grabbed a few cleaning rags, toss them in the bucket. I also had to grab some microfiber cloths for the windows. And cleaned my Subaru's windows and dash first, because why not? It's nice to have a clean daily driver too. Windows are now cleaner. On to the next vehicle, now the actual main protagonist of this video. So nice, so clean. Better at least. I was just going to take off again, but I noticed my back tire was pretty flat. So I had to put some air into it using my own onboard air compressor. My hood sometimes refuses to pop open, so I keep a little smacky stick around. After that was done, I was finally able to drive back into Zuni Canyon. On the way there this time, I experimented with some ways to get better footage than just through the windshield. First, I stuck my camera out the window. It was quite nice to get some unobstructed shots. But the coolest way to record driving footage, in my opinion, turned out to be with the camera strapped to the roof rack. I guess from now on I will do it that way. However, this time I didn't bring all of the attachments the camera came with, and I only strapped it to my roof rack using the little tripod. And I got scared it might fall off. So I stopped after about half a mile and put the camera back on the dash for the last leg to the trailhead. I think I did a fairly good job cleaning the windows, but now I have the reflection of the vent on the windshield because the sun had shifted. There's always something else to consider. We have made it! Quartz Hill Trailhead, beautiful spot. Lots of cool hiking and mountain biking trails going off of here. And finally, what you have all been waiting for, the Adventure Vehicle Walkaround. I bought this 1997 Suburban in April 2021 as a little birthday present to myself. I'd always wanted a large vehicle like a truck or SUV that is capable enough to go on some off-road trails, but also large enough to be used as a camper. I am 6'2", and the Suburban has enough space in the back for a full-size mattress, so I can drive this thing up the trails, have all my blankets and pillows and whatever else I need, and don't have to bother with a tent. When I first bought it, the truck had some issues with the front end. The previous owner had worked on it himself and hadn't done a very good job. So when my shop installed the lift kit, they had to fix a bunch of other stuff, for which I am very grateful for. Their website is linked in the description. So please go check them out. They do really good work. The tires it came with were pretty bad too, so I gave her some cheap all-terrain tires just to get around, and they held until now. But the tires are now at the point where they need to be replaced with some wider and slightly taller all-terrain tires for the rest of this summer and into the fall and winter. The exhaust system is from Flowmaster, and I had that done in September 2022, and she now sounds a lot nicer than before. If you watched my compilation video, you saw that the first aftermarket part I put into her was the backup camera. This has been a very useful tool and a great purchase. I can back up a large vehicle just using the mirrors and looking out the windows, but the camera definitely makes it a lot easier. My shop back in Albuquerque put the camera right above the license plate, which is not the perfect spot for it because I now have to be careful using the step while not crushing the camera. But it works. The plug for the camera is underneath the dash, and it also comes with a little screen to see where you're going. A quite neat little device, and my shop did a great job hooking it into all the wiring. Here's one of the reasons how my truck's name came to be. A bunch of cables just tied up with zip ties in the back. I named her Zippy the Snowflake because of those cables and because she's large and slow and dainty and white. One little thing I did myself was tie some old computer cables together to be able to open the back door from the inside. And this is quite useful when you are camping and just want to exit out the back. Another thing the Start Shop in Albuquerque did really well was install my winch. I've been watching a few off-road recovery channels for a while, and one of them uses those Badland winches for their recovery work. So I got myself one with a synthetic cable, and my shop did a wonderful job putting it essentially inside and under the front bumper, so it doesn't stick out as much as in other vehicles. And yeah, the lift kit came with a bunch of skid plates for underneath the vehicle. I think my tie rods need to be replaced. They are still stock and I want some heavier duty ones. If you have suggestions for a good brand, please leave them in the comments below. My current tie rods are either bent or loose or something. The front left is making a rattly noise. The roof basket is another upgrade, but I'm not sure if I will keep it on there permanently. I guess it depends on what I'm doing with it. Earlier this year, the truck had some issues with the battery, so I got myself a little jumper pack. So far, I have not had to use it though, and the battery has been fine. Fingers crossed. You saw this in action in the previous part of this video. The air compressor has its button inside the vehicle, right behind the steering wheel, and the compressor is in one of the empty battery trays in the engine bay. This has been a very useful upgrade, and I've aired up and down my tires several times and also helped out friends with flat tires. I got this air intake because I thought it might give a little bit of a power boost to my truck and make it sound even better, but I don't think it's really doing much, and some people have told me to just go back to the stock air intake, so I may do that at some point. Lastly, I wanted to talk about Quartz Hill Trailhead just for a minute. This is around 20 minutes outside of Grants, and it is a wonderful area for hiking, trail running, mountain biking. You can see a lot of wildlife. You're always either in the trees, going up and down the hills, or you are in the black lava rock that is all over the place around here. You also come past some of the cinder cones, which are volcanic in origin. The Forest Service does a lovely job at curating those trails and making and keeping them safe and accessible. There we are, everyone. That was my adventure vehicle walk-around video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time and interest in what I do. Please leave me your comments and suggestions down below, and let me know if you want to see more drives and road trips in the future. I am working on a short hiking video and a few other really cool things, so stay tuned. Please like and subscribe, and share my channel with all your contacts. My website and a few other bits and pieces are linked in the description below. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next one.